Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and I've got a puzzle on screen that has been recommended to us highly. It's by Randy Dan, who's featured on the channel a couple of times lately and has not been doing easy puzzles. So I approached this with some trepidation, but I will go through the rules of that in a moment. I'm going to quickly mention the Patreon content, which include, of course, Blobs' brilliant March monthly reward, a puzzle pack of 12 puzzles based on the 159 idea. Do check it out, and they're really good. And on Patreon also, we've got gridogram and connections and cryptic crossword videos. They're good fun too. All sorts of things going on, and remarkable content there, as there are in our apps, which do feature line Sudoku and domino Sudoku, but also classic Sudoku 2, Fog of War, and the Worms. They're brilliant as well. Honestly, they really are. Anything else to tell you about? Well, we tend to stream on Monday evenings. We tend to do 2 Sudoku videos every day. Not tend to. We do that religiously, as we do with Minute Cryptic and Wordle in a Minute every day on the channel. Loads of content. If you don't like some bits, there are other bits that you might like. Ooh, a bulb has just failed in a small lamp on my desk. That was very surprising. That was very odd. Anyway, didn't happen during the puzzle. That's fine. I don't think it made much difference to the lighting. So I'm going to go through the rules of this puzzle now, because I don't see why not. I didn't mention Friday crossword masterclasses. There we go. Right. Normal Sudoku rules do apply. So 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. 1 to 9 will also go on each long diagonal. They are marked with blue, although some of those blue lines are hidden behind orange. But digits can't repeat on either of the 2 main diagonals. Adjacent digits on an orange line have a difference of at least 4. This is the Dutch whisper rule. The German whisper rule says that adjacent digits on a green line have a difference of at least 5. On the pink line, we have 4 consecutive digits, not necessarily in order. On the red line, each pair of digits contains 1 odd and 1 even number. It's a parity line. And on the peach line, every run of 3 digits contains 1 from 1, 2, 3, 1 from 4, 5, 6, and 1 from 7, 8, 9. That's an entropic line. And Randy Dan has included the letters in the grid to tell you which line is which in case of any colour blindness. Renban, entropic, parity, German whisper, Dutch whisper. Then we have black dots where 1 digit is double the other, white dots with a difference of 1, and those are the rules. Those aren't fairly normal rules on the channel, but there's a lot of them, and they're all a bit separated, these lines. Do give it a try on the first link under the video. I don't know what we're going to find. You can check the video length for difficulty standard. Might be right, might not be right. Depends how much I struggled. And here it goes. Let's get cracking. So. Dutch whispers in a loop. Okay. I'm going to tell you, well, first of all, I'll tell you about German whispers, because it leads into the lecture about Dutch whispers. These lectures don't take very long. Along a German whisper line, the difference of 5 or more means that 5 can't appear on the line, means that digits alternate between digits higher than 5 and lower than 5, and that you couldn't put 4 and 6 in these 2 cells because they've only got 1 possible neighbour each. And if you were to put 4, both of those digits would have to be 9. Now, those rules have to be modified for the Dutch whisper line, because 5 can appear on it. If 5 didn't appear on a Dutch whisper line, you would alternate between digits higher than 5 and lower than 5. And therefore the polarities would always change. That's what I'm using for high or low, the word polarity. And I will probably accidentally swap it with the word parity because I can't quite maintain the 2 in my head. But this loop is a loop of 8 cells on the line. Let's say, well, this digit can't be a 5 because it attaches to 4 cells in the central box that can't all be 1 or 9. So this is high or low. We will colour it pink. Now, if there was no 5 on this loop, and I'm considering the top of the hourglass shape, but the bottom would work just the same, but let's do for the top. If there was no 5, we would alternate between high and low. I don't know whether green would be high and pink low or the other way round, but we would alternate like that and come back to pink at the end. Now, does that mean 5 can't, well, does that mean there is no parity alternation swap on the line? How many 5s could you, if you do one parity alternation swap, where you kind of put in a 5 here, and then, let's get rid of the colours, where you put in, you go green here, you put in a 5 here, and then the other colour here, pink here. Then you're alternating between green and pink, but now you'd have to swap back because of this even number along the loop. You could do that. You could do that with 1 5 in this row and 1 5 in this box, I think. So, I was hoping to rule 5 off the orange line entirely. And that would put 5 in one of these cells in row 3, one of these in row 7, one of these in box 5. You know, it would have been a start, but I can't do it. I will say that one of the loops, either the upper or the lower one, at least one of the loops does not have a 5 on, because even if you did do a double 5 along the loop to swap polarity twice, you could have 1 in the top row and 1 in box 5, but you couldn't do the same again below because you've already used a 5 in box 5. So I can't mark this, but one of these parity loops is complete alternation. Maybe both are, but certainly one is. Oh, goodness. Do we have to think more about this polarity alternation now? I don't know what else to do. I mean, there's the answer. I don't know what else we can possibly do. I will bear in mind that these diagonals have to be all different digits. But again, I don't know if I can mark up the colours of these. Also, I'm going to mention something that popped into my brain and I didn't talk about it. 5 can sometimes appear on these lines and not swap polarity. So you could have 9, 5, 9. And that would be perfectly valid. And then this loop wouldn't have another 5 on. So 5 doesn't always swap polarity, because if it can be next to 2 digits of the same number, actually there's nowhere else on this line that could go. This one sees those 2. These ones have 2 on their lateral flanks. That one sees those 2. And this one just can't be 5. So the only places 5 can be on this hourglass are in these... No. The only... No, there was definitely scope for 5 to be in the top. Oh, maybe we can rule 5 off these. Let's just visualize a 5 there. This digit would be 1 or 9, as would the central digit, if this occurred. Now, you can't put 5 here, say, because it would have to be flanked by 1 and 9, and that would create 3 in the row. You can't put it here, because it's in the same column as a 5. Oh, you could put it here, in this corner of the Phistomefel ring. Oh, bother. Yeah, that would work with 1, 9 pairs here. That would be pink that would be green. I think the alternation would all be perfect. Okay, I thought I was about to rule 5s out of everywhere, and that is not the case. I can't even make that green because it could be a 5. Oh. Ah, goodness. Sorry. What's going on then? What is going on in this puzzle? I've achieved the sum total of absolutely nothing so far. Let's say there were no 5s. Oh, well, I mean, this is quite interesting straight away, actually. I can already mark this cell as 1, 2, 8, or 9 because it sees these 4 cells. Actually, can I mark it as 1 or 9? If that was 2, if it was 2, it could touch 6, 7, 8, and 9. These would be all the high cells. If this was 2, these would all be high. These would be low, although 5 is possible in the one instance where there's a 9 in the central box. Well, you'd get a pattern that looked like this in the other colours. If this was 2 or 8, yeah, the interesting thing there is if this is 2 or 8 in the centre, you can't put 5 in these cells anymore. Therefore, neither of these loops at the top or bottom of the hourglass shape can possibly have 2 5s on. Therefore, they must alternate between polarities. And I mean, you would have exactly this pattern of polarity alternation around the whole. Oh, look, these 5 cells would all be different. Ah, ha, ha. Yes, yes, this is something. Right, if you didn't have a 5 in one of these cells, that's what we're going with. We're going with no 5. We're actually starting with a 2 or an 8 here, and therefore you can't have a 5 in one of these cells. These are the 4 high or low digits. Now, if that occurs, we've just said you can't have a 5 in any of these cells. Well, you can't have it being a polarity changer, and the only places where it can be a polarity non-changer are here. So, in fact, none of these could be 5. And what would these 5 cells be? The key thing here is they all see each other, and in this postulation, they're all of the same polarity. So they're all either low or quasi-low like 5, but we've just decided 5 can't be in them. So either they're all low or they're all high. And that's not possible because there aren't 5 such digits. Therefore, there is one of these 2 loops does have 2 5s, changing the polarity. This central digit is touching a 5 in one of these 4 cells, which I can no longer colour, but I now know that one of them is a 5. And on whichever loop that 5 appears, there is a 5 in one of these in fact, in the opposite corner cell. So if that's a 5, there's a 5 there. 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 So one of these 4 cells is a 5. I shouldn't really mark it like this. But it also means this central digit is now definitely the extreme digit in its polarity. It's 1 or 9, because it is touching a 5. Now, what else is happening with the other 1 or 9? So wherever 5 is here, say 5 was there, this digit is a 1 or 9. And there's a 5 here, and both of those are 1 9s. So one of these 4 digits is a 1 9, and one of these 4 digits, a kind of camel step away, is also a 1 9. And the other loop that doesn't have the 2 5s on and all the 1 9s is alternating between high and low. I can't quite work out if that can't have any 1 9s on. But I do know that the diagonals have now used both their 5s. If it's 5 there and there, both diagonals have used a 5, and the same will apply in all those positions. Actually, I also know that they've used all their 1 9s. Because there's 1 in the central cell, there's got to be 1 in one of these Phistomefel corners and 1 in one of the box 5 corners. So none of these cells can be 1, 5 or 9. Isn't that fascinating? That is a conclusion that I am going to record because it's bonkers. But I don't have a clue what to do with it. Sorry, I'm just letting this sink in because something might be relevant about this conclusion. I mean, we've still got to put, let's say the 5s were at the top of this loop. Then none of these would be 5s. So all of these cells are going to have to alternate. And they're going to have to use, I don't know, they're probably going to have to mostly use digits from 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let me just postulate one version of the colouring. Let's say that was the 5. So for the rest of this top loop, we get another 5 on the top loop. But then we alternate like this. And on the bottom loop, we alternate in a much purer fashion. I'm trying to work out how many of these corners end up being pink. And there's the answer. It's annoyingly only 3. If it was 4, I feel like we'd actually have something. And we don't have any quads of green. This is just an example colorification. And it's not that helpful. So let's get rid of it because it's all a bit... I mean, that kind of colouring must happen in one orientation or another, but we don't know how it works yet. Oh, hang on, let's just go back. I wanted to actually analyse whether 1s and 9s can appear. Let's say, oh yeah, we've said these are the 5s. These digits are all 1s and 9s. Now, can any of the bottom section, nothing else in box 5 can be a 1 or a 9. Nothing else on the diagonals can be a 1 or a 9. And this cell is seeing a 1-9 pair. This can't be a 1-9 because it's pink and it sees pink 1-9. So only one cell could be a 1-9 on the other loop. And I wonder if it has to be just because of the nature of the digits we'd be using. I don't know. You know what? When you don't know what to do, in many Sudoku puzzles of the harder end of the spectrum, it's worth thinking about set theory. And there is something about these shapes which fill most of their boxes. I mean, they're all symmetric, obviously. They fill their boxes, but not these lines. I don't think I've ever done a set theory that matched against diagonals. I might be wrong. But I'm going to try it. This could be utter nonsense. Right, I'm going to colour both diagonals the same colour. Let's go with red and yellow. Now, things get tricky immediately because this digit is counted twice in these two sets of 1 to 9. So what I've highlighted is 2 sets of the digits 1 to 9 but I'm counting the middle one twice. Now I'm going to do not the top two rows, I'm going to do boxes 1, 3, 7 and 9. The interesting thing about set is you don't have to match exact numbers of the same sets. So what I've highlighted now, obviously box 1 is a set of the digits 1 to 9. So is box 3, so is box 7 and 9. So the yellow cells are 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. The red cells are 2 sets of the digits 1 to 9, as long as we count this central one twice. Now I'm going to eliminate the cells that we see once each in those sets. And there is still going to be a two different, no. Right, I'm now going to add to the red set row 3 and row 7. Oh, okay, let's just go back a bit, sorry. Let's go back to here. At the moment, I've got 2 sets of 1 to 9 in red and 4 sets in yellow. I'm going to add row 3 and row 7 to red. Now, again, there are more cells that are counted twice now. But now I've got 4 sets of 1 to 9 in red and 4 sets of 1 to 9 in yellow. And I'm going to try and use set equivalence theory is what it stands for, very self-referential, to see if we can't get a weird match. So I'm going to remove the cells that have been counted once each in the 2 sets from my kind of bags of the same tiles. So I'm still on the exact equivalent set of digits in red and in yellow. Now I can remove these corners. Once from red and once from yellow will leave 1 single red, because they were being counted twice in red and only once in yellow. And now look, my yellow set of 16 digits is the sets of digits on these 4 lines with their separate rules. My set of red digits is all the lines on the all the digits on the Dutch whisper, including the central one twice. But we know something about the digits on the Dutch whisper because we've spent a long time working it out. That is that there are 2 5s on this. And how many 1s and 9s? Quite a lot. Because we were saying that there's 4 on the top section. And remember, we're counting this cell twice, so that's 5 we're going to have to put in the yellow cells. And maybe a 6th here. Now, how is that going to work? On these smaller lines, on these 4-cell lines? Oh, I can eliminate one of these 5 possibilities. In this box, where does 5 go? We know it's not in those cells. We know it's not on a green line. So in this box, 5 is in one of those 3 cells. And that means this digit in the puzzle cannot be a 5. That eliminates its corresponding 5 from this cell, which is reasonably interesting. I'll take anything. And one of these 3 is a 5. I wonder if it has to be this one. One of these 3 is a 5. Where's 5 in box 3? It's on the parity line. There must be a 5 on the parity line. And 1 other odd digit and 2 even digits. I mean, I bet this set is part of this, but I don't know what to do. I mean, I'll be really blatant with you. I don't know how to use this at all. What was it that we knew? We knew that there are 2 5s in these corner boxes on the lines, and one of them is there. Now, this would be a very interesting Renban not to contain a 5, because it would have to be an extreme Renban. If it doesn't have a 5, it's either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 6, 7, 8, 9. The entropic line feels a lot less helpful to me, if I'm honest. Oh, hang on. Right, I think I can eliminate. So what did I work out? I worked out that the 1 9s are sitting in a pattern like that, somewhere around here. So here's the pattern I'm going to eliminate of 1 9s. 1 9s sitting like this, which would occur if these 2 were the 5s. 1 9 sitting like this would put both 1 and 9 on the Renban in box 7, because these 2 digits I've got highlighted in row 7 would be a 1 9 pair, and 1 9 can't go on the diagonal, so both 1 and 9 would be forced on the Renban, and that's clearly insane. So these 2 are not 5s. I've eliminated one other pair of 5s. Now 5 is definitely on one of these cells. And it's definitely in one of these 2. And the remaining 1 9s are either there, there, and there, or there, there, and there. These cells can't be 1 or 9 now. Is that interesting? Not... well... What I want is to put, either to put 5 on this Renban or to exclude it. I don't think I'm going to be able to exclude it. This is head-wreckingly difficult. Can I use the other digits? I mean, have I got to really think about all the digits that go on these Dutch whisper cells? Not just the 5s and the 1s and the 9s. That's wildly worrying. I don't even want to think about that. That's too hideously confusing. Here's a tiny point. We can only put 1 of 1 9 maximum on this parity line. So at least one of them is in these cells. Might be both. And that is going to force at least 1 of 1 9 and maybe both onto this green line. I got a lot less interested in the count. Maybe I forgot to complete the counting thing. We were going to have all... This counts as 5 1 9s on orange cells that have to be mapped onto yellow cells. 5. There's a maximum 1 there. I feel like we could have 2 there. Down here it's a maximum 1. So there must be at least 1 1 9 on this yellow. And if that equivalent cell ended up being another 1 9, there'd be another. But, sorry, this is not yellow, this is peach. I don't see a reason why an entropic line can't have 1 and 9 on. And then we might have up to 7. No. 1 here, 2 here, 1 here, 2 here, up to 6, which will allow a 1, 9 to be on the other line. Oh, that's not enough. That's not enough. It's close to it, but it's not enough. Maybe I should think about, I haven't really thought about these being 5s much. What would this do? Because, yeah, I mean, that's interesting. We would have 1 9s in all of these positions. And now this entropic line would have to have 1 and 9 on it. And the Ren band would have to have 1 of them. Ah, no. The Ren, right, this won't work. Because that digit would be a 5, and the Ren band would have to have a 5 on it. But it would also have to have this 1 or 9 on it. And a Ren band can't have a 5 and an extreme digit. They're too far apart. So these are not the 5s. We've found the 5s. I've got my first digits in the grid after nearly half an hour. There they are. And these digits are all 1s and 9s. Wow. Okay. Well, I feel like, get the fanfares and the trumpets out because I've done something. Now, the trouble is my colouring is now getting in the way of doing high and, well, I don't know what high and low is, so maybe it's not. These two are a high and a low digit. That's... Oh, but no, this is where the colouring's interesting because these have to alternate quite hard. Oh, and it's this cell that can't be 1 or 9. This one could be. Now, this can't have more than 1 or 9 on it. So there's at least 1 9 in these cells. It's not there. It's in one of these two. I mean, that can't be a 9 because of the black dot. But there's... Oh, so maybe they both can't be here for some reason. I think that could be a 1 with a 2 there, and that could be a 9. Sorry, this is just absolutely mind-bogglingly weird. This digit. Okay, I have to colour. I'm just going to have to remember the colouring about the orange. The digits on the orange, including the central cell twice, are the same as the digits in the yellow. Maybe it'll be helpful again in a moment. But what I'm now going to do is colour for high and low. I make no apologies. Because this might yield something. That is green. That's green. That's green. These two are pink. I think I've got this right. That digit is a 1 or a 9. So now we might be able to do some Sudoku. You never know. This can't be an extreme digit. Can it be 4 or 6? No. Because if this was a 4, these would be 8 and 9, and they can't be. If it was a 6, they'd be 1 and 2, and they can't be. So this is 2, 3, 7, or 8 in this cell. If it does turn out to be a 3, for instance, this pair has to be 7, 8. Now, 1 of 1 and 9 must be in these cells. Maybe both. Because this can't have more than 1 on. Whichever 1 of 1 and 9 is on these cells is definitely going on this entropic line. And the pink one is going on this parity line. And the green... Both green and pink 1, 9 are going on this line. Wow. Okay, let's just try and keep going. This is it's absolutely intriguing, but it's also a bit terrifying, this puzzle. Now, I need to think about this cell. Can this be 4 or 6? Yes. If this was 6, it would be flanked by 2 on this side and 1 on this side. This one couldn't be flanked by a 1 on this side because of the 1-9 pair there. So if this was a 6, oh, this one is the cell that can be 1 or 9 as well. So I'm not gonna fill in 8 candidates into this cell, I promise. Well, not yet. Oh, now, whatever this is, it's a pink cell. So this is either 4 greens or has the number 5 on. If this was 4 greens, where would the 4 greens go in row 7? Obviously 2 are here. The other 2 would have to be in these cells, and now 5 would have to be sitting there. Five is already definitely in one of those 3 cells. Right, if this was 4 greens, it can't be 4 pinks, it could be 4 greens, and these 2 would both be green. I can't work this out at all. Oh, here's something else. If these were 4 greens, these would both be pink. And we'd have all 4 pinks on this diagonal, and these 2 would be green. I think that's okay for the parity line. I don't think it does. Well, okay, I've got something slightly different. This green line has 2 greens and 2 pinks on. Now, does that have to be a pair of a polarity pair? I don't know. If it did, this would also be a polarity pair. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just because I postulated this as 4 greens. Okay, let's do the alternative. Let's postulate this as having a 5 on. The trouble is then it could have 1 pink and 2 greens, or the other way round, or 3 pinks or 3 greens. There is an alarming degree of flexibility about what that has on. So no, I'm missing the point a bit. These are definitely all from 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and this one. I mean, it's a bit of sad pencil marking, but I need to do it to get this in my head. And actually, what goes next to each other out of these types of digit? Because there are things that can't happen. 4 here would have to go next to 7 and 8. And that would become a 6. Yeah, look at this trio. This is either a 2, 3, 4 or a 6, 7, 8 trio. And this digit is seeing either the 4 or the 6. So this has to be from the 1, 2, 8, 9 family. I'd love to restrict it to the 1, 9 family, but I don't think I can quite do that. If this was a 2, these could be 6 and, well, either 7 or 8. But this trio is interesting. I hadn't seen that before. Now, is there a reason that can't be the same as this? It would be in one of those two cells. It's already there. It would be in one of those two cells. It would be on this line. It would be a 1 or a 9. It would be on this line somewhere. I don't know. I don't think I can rule that out, although what I'm also not ruling out is that is the next step, is to work out that this is a 1 or 9, although in some ways it'd be more helpful if it wasn't. No, it would be helpful if it was. What I want to do is say that this isn't 9 and this 1. Because that's the only way that this Renban doesn't have a 1 or 9 on, and therefore be an extreme green line. So 9 here, 1 here would put 5 on this line. 9, 1. The trouble is I don't even know what colour they would be. Oh, this then would be a 2 or an 8. There'd be a 5 in one of these cells. Is that interesting? This entropic line would have to have at least 1, 4 or 6 on. Haven't thought about 4s and 6s. Haven't thought about this line's even digits. Haven't thought about which numbers go on here. And of course, we've got to replicate all of these orange numbers in the yellow. So one of them is a purple set of either 2, 3, 4 or 6, 7, 8. One group of numbers. The rest of the purple digits are 2, 3, 1, 9s and whatever this is. Then there are 2 5s, and we know that one of them is on this parity line. One of them is either on the Renban or on the entropic. What about this purple sequence of 2, 3, 4 or 6, 7, 8? Well, some of those digits have to go into this row. I don't know. This can't be 1 or 9. This is again from 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. We don't have the same sort of thing going on with the greens, a sort of global grouping or elimination. Wow, I don't know. I just don't have enough agreement between digits to do anything. Let's rethink this. 9 there, 1 here, 2 there. And then green would be, well, no, that's what allows 5 to be on this thing. So we don't know whether green would be high or low. Okay, let's focus on this set of 3 digits. Sorry, this is really, really, really difficult. Where does this digit go in box 5? Into one of those 2 cells is the answer. Or, I mean, I can't seem to use that 1-9 pair. We've got a pink 1-9, pink 1-9. One of these is a pink 1-9. That's slightly interesting. Green 1-9s. One of these is a green 1-9. One of these. Okay, in this row, we have one pink 19. That one pink 19 is going to keep pink 19 off one of these lines and put it on the other. So amongst these lines, we're going to get a single exactly one pink 19. Now we have to accommodate 2, 3. So each of these lines is going to have pink 19 on, which I could have known because of this. I mean, that is obvious, right? Okay, what it has told me about this line is that there are no other odd digits on it. The other two digits on this line are even. The odd digits are 5 and pink 19. And they alternate in position. I don't see how that helps me at all. So, 2 even digits have gone on that line. Be fantastic to prove this was an odd digit, because it would have to be a 3. I can't possibly do that. Do I know anything about the parity of these digits or the ones on the Renban? I really don't think I do. This could be a very long video because I've made huge steps and I have no idea at all what the next step is. Okay, I'm going to pencil mark 5 in box 4. There's a 5 on... No, I don't know that there's a 5 on this line. I don't know anything about this whisper. Well, I do know that there's a pink 19 on it. And obviously only one other pink cell. I don't know, but there's... Oh, I also know there's a green 19 on it. Right, so both pink and green 19 are on this, but they can sit next to each other or far apart. They accommodate 4s and 6s on the line. They don't really do anything for me. These two, then, they're green and pink, and they must be at least 4 apart. So if one of them was a 4, the other would be an 8. If one of them was a 6, the other would be a 2. One of these is a 4 or a 6. So if this was 19 in green, then it goes on this Renban, and then pink 19 doesn't. In fact, 5 doesn't as well. Right, if that was green 19, this is 5, and this is pink 19 here. And would have to be a 1. So, there's a digit that this can't be, which is 1, because that would put 1 on this line, stop 5 and 9 being on it, put 5 and 9 in those cells, and 1 would be on the black cell, which is impossible. So that digit can't be a 1. Well, that's quite interesting. Now let's focus on green being low, because this digit is now going to have to be a 2. With and this group is 6, 7, 8. This is 3 or 4. This is 2. This one is 7 or 8. I don't know. I mean, it's getting interesting, but it's not really there. It It'd be brilliant to rule this out as a 2 and to actually have some digits I could write it. If it was a 2, this is 3 or 4. These two, this can't, if that's a 2, this can't be a 4. I don't think this can ever be a 4. 4 goes next to 8 and 9. And 6 goes next to 2 and 1. That can never be a 4. This one can be though. Okay, well, that's been available for ages too, and I haven't figured it out. So if that's a 2, this is definitely a 3. The 3 is going next to 7 and 8, and this digit would be a 6. And what would this be? This can't be a 6 either, because they both have to be 2. Right, this can't be a 2, I believe, because that's a 3. The 3 is surrounded by 7, 8, and that's broken this. In fact, this is now 4 or 6, because those are from 2, 3, 7. Now, I'm sorry, this has taken a long time. That is 4 or 6. That has to go next to an extreme digit on this side, because it's going next to a non-extreme digit on that side. So this is a 9, and that's an 8. And this is 4, and here we go. We've got the colours. Well, pink is low. That's a 1 in the centre. This is a 1. Green is high. Let's make that orange my high colour. Those are definite 9s. This is 7 or 6, as is this actually. These are a 2-3 pair. Whichever one's a 2 is touching the 6 in the centre. This is low. Don't know which one. This is high. Don't know which one. That's annoying. But we've got real digits in the puzzle that aren't just 5s. Hurrah. Now we can do something here, can't we? I don't know what we can do here. The remaining digits in this row are 1, 5, 6, 7. This one on a black dot cannot be 5 or 7. It's 1 or 6, making this number above 2 or 3. These are different from each other. 9 must be on this green line. 1 is on this yellow line, along with 5 and 2 even digits. 9 is on this entropic line, which is a bit interesting. Oh, it's not in those cells because of this. So it's only, no, I was going to say it's only once on the entropic line. Its entropy set could be replicated in those 2 cells. But one of these 2 is a 9. That's quite interesting. 9 is also on this Renban. That is a big finding. That is a massive finding. This Renban is 9876. That is a massive, massive finding. They're all orange. This is a 1. That's a 2. This is not 7 or 6. And it's not 1. It's a 5. 5's a red. That's a red 5. Here we go. This is not a 2 by Sudoku now. That's also not a 2. 5, 1, 2, 8, 3, 4, 9. These are a 6, 7 pair. These can't be 6 or 7. This entropy now. Now, can we tell what's on the entropy line? I doubt that we can, even at this stage. Without a 6 or a 7, we could still have a repeated 8, 9 pair. We could have a repeated 5-4 pair, and we could even have 2 low digits. I mean, that's viciously cruel. Why can't we find something out? Oh, there's a 2-3-4 set on this diagonal. So they come out of those cells. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. That is a sextuplet. No, there's a 5 on there. It's not a sextuplet. But 3 in the box must now be in one of these cells. Why is that? Because it's not on the diagonal and it can't be the odd digit here. Yeah, that's okay. So 3's in one of those cells. This digit is not a 3. And what does that mean? I don't know up here. Or these? I don't know either. Oh, in this central box, 4 is now in one of those cells. Five, 1, 9, 3. Now, what about this white dot? It's not a 3-4 pair because that would break this cell. Therefore, we are, and it doesn't use 9. So we're selecting from 6, 7, 8. I could colour them for fun. And therefore, one of those digits is a 7, and I can rule 7 out of a couple of cells. That's all a little surprising. Probably doesn't get me very far, but it gets me a lot further on that dot than I was expecting. We've had 2 out of 6, 7, 8 in this row. These remaining cells are a 3, something from 2, 4, and something from 6, 7, 8. Now, that digit is going to be one of the even digits on this line. Yeah, that's not a very exciting finding. This I want to do something with the entropy line. I can't get anywhere with it. Okay, let's go back into this column. One of these is from 3, 4, and one of them is from 6, 8, 9. Well, this digit is not a 6 or a 4. So it is now 3, 8, or 9. If it was a 3, these would be 9, 8. This would be low. Oh, 1 is now definitely on this line. So if that was a 3, this would be the 1. Because the alternation. 3, 8, 9, 1 would be on the line. However, if this is high, one of these two is the 1. I don't know. I wish I could use this 2, 3, 4 thing a little better. These, do they have to include 7? Not yet is my view on that. They might do. I know 7 can't be on this line, but I don't see why it couldn't be in here with a 3. And that would be 6 or 8. That would be 7. That would be 6 or 8. This would be 2 or 4. This is high. There's going to be 2 highs here. These can't both be high. So at least one of them is low. Now these can't both be low. Oh, well, they can't both be high because there's only an 8 candidate as a high digit on them. Right, was that conclusion fair? I could have gone too far. There are 2 high and 2 low here, and there's a high there. So these can't both be high, or we'd have 5 highs in the box. So at least one is low. That means at most one of these is low. But that means that these are definitely 1 low and 1 high, and they include an 8 now. Now this digit can't be 9, because if those 3 were high and medium and low, this would be high again. But it can't be 8, and it can't be 7, and it couldn't be 9. So that's not 9. This is where the 9 goes. That's a heck of a finding and does almost nothing. Oh, hang on, it takes 9 out of those cells, puts it in one of those two. I mean, I'm stick by almost nothing. No, where's 9 in this column? It does do something. It's got to put 9 here. Now we know about the alternation in this box. These two are low, and one of them's a 1. I'm going to allow 4 there, but not here. This is high. And I'm going to colour it orange and call it 6, 7 or 8. I don't know which it is, but it is high. These two are now definitely high. I've done that ages ago. In fact, look, that's a 6, 7, 8 triple. So one of those two is an 8. And there's no 8 on this line. So the two odd digits on this line are 1, 5. The two even digits are from 2, 4, 6. I don't think I'm saying anything new or exciting, but I am still finding out what is happening in the puzzle. Piece by tiny little piece. There's a 9 there by Sudoku. That's unexpected. It's not going to help anything, but it's true. So this column now has a 6, 7, 8 triple, and this digit up here is low. Is 3 or 4. Do I know what that is? This is 1 high. Yeah, I must do. This is 1 high and 1 low. That's the 4th blue on the diagonal. So this is not low. This is high. This is the triple of 6, 7, 8. Now this is low, and it's not 1 or 3. So that is 2 or 4, forming a pair with this one. And these are 3 and either 6, 7 or 8. This digit is not allowed to be 7 because of the black dot. No, I was going to say this is the only place for 7. It's not true. That is 3, 6 or 8, making this 6, 3 or 4. Totally uninteresting finding. Never mind. Oh dear, how sad. Never mind. These are blue in my scheme. These are orange. Might as well keep colouring for high and low. I mean, maybe I should go back to the original sets and try and tick them off against each other. Feels like a fatuous exercise a bit at the moment. I mean, I'm almost getting a feel for what is on the lines without, especially since, well, I don't know. If I could find out that there were 2 4s on these lines, I just don't think I've got enough certainty. But if I could find out that there were 2 4s on that line, that would have to be a 4, and that would make this an 8, and things would go very nicely. But I can't do that. It's madness. Right. One of these diagonals has a 2, 6 pair on by Dutch whisper rules. So if it's this one, that's a 3, 4 pair. And these are a 7, 8 pair. If it's this one, doesn't really do anything. The alternative is that this is a 3, 7 pair. Oh. Both of those digits see that one by the magic of diagonal Sudoku. That one sees it horizontally, that one sees it on the diagonal. So that can't be either 3 or 4. That is 2 or 8. Now we could do the same with the corner cells. They all see each other. But I don't know much about what each other are. Oh, maybe I do. There's an 8 in one of those cells and an 8 in one of these. And that's a sort of X-wing. There's also an X-wing on 7s in one of those cells and one of these 3. So 8 and 7 must be in these cells in column 7. And that one can't be a 7 because of the 6, 7 pair looking at it. What about these two? Oh, what about this this entropic line. Could it finally do something for me? These two are from the same entropy. They're either both low, making a 1, 2, 3 set with that, or they're both middly, and in which case there'd be 4, 5 as a pair. 4, 5 would force that to be 3, that to be 2, this to be 3, and this would be 1 very clearly, because we've got nowhere else to put 1. But if these are low, one of them is 1 and the other one is 2 or 3, and that's 8 and this is 4, and that would be 5. Does that mean this digit is always 5 or 1? If it's medium, it can't be 4 because there'd be nowhere in the box for 5. And if it's low, it can't be 2 or 3 because there'd be nowhere in the box for 1. So that is 1 or 5, which is a kind of pair of digits we were very interested in early on. Not so much anymore. There is a 1 in one of those cells. I can see that now. So if that's a 1, that's a 1. If this isn't a 1, one of these is a 1. If that's a 5, what else does it do? Well, whichever it is out of 1 or 5 puts such a digit here. And the other one of 1 or 5 must be here, because 1 is odd and 1 is even. I haven't thought about this alternation much at all. So 1, 5 are a virtual pair amongst those cells. In this column, we've also had 9, 7, 8. This digit can't be a 6 either. So this is 2, 3, or 4 by a weird form of elimination. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't put it in one entropic group definitively. If that's a 4, that's a 5. If that's 2 or 3, this is a 1. So now I've got a weird 1, 5 pair in the box. Very unexpected, fairly unhelpful, not really the business. One of those is a 4 in this box. That must be true. Okay, if it was here, that would be 3, 4, I don't know. If this was 4, this would be 8. That would be 3, and this would be 6 or 7. Or maybe this would be very constrained if this was 6. Maybe the German whisper is an interesting thing to do. If that was 6, this would be 1. This would be from 2, 3, 4, and would be forming triples. And doubles, alive, alive-o. Sorry, I still need to just get my head down and think this through. It's so difficult. Okay, here's a deal. Here's a deal. Isn't this a virtual 6, 7, 8 triple? This black dot must contain either 6 or 8 on. And these two cells have the other digits from 6, 7, 8. This digit now can't be 8. Yes. So this digit is 8. Please help, 8. This now can't be 8. Doesn't mean this one is 8. Oh, this one also can't be 8. One of these two is 8. But what else does this being 8 mean? It means that can't be 8. One of these two is 8. These two can't be 8. One of these two is 8. I don't think this is going to get anything done. This 6, 7 pair's been there for ages. One of these is 4. I could colour that blue and it doesn't butter any parsnips. Ah, that's not 2. So one of these two is a 2, so that's not 2. Now I've got a 3, 4 pair in this row. These are the same entropy. but that is not resolved. Oh man, that's crazy. It's so close to being resolved. Is this a quintuple or a sextuplet? No, it just isn't. 7, 8. Okay, let's go back to this, because this yielded a little more than I was expecting. We've got a virtual 6, 7, 8 triple, so I could take 6 out of that cell. What else have we got going on? I don't think we've got anything else going on. If this was 4, 8, these two couldn't be 4. I don't think it does anything. Wow, that's mind-blowingly annoying. If I know that that's a 2-3 pair and this is a 3-4 pair, don't I know what pair this is? These boxes only contain 2 2s, 2 3s and 2 4s. If that's a 2-3 pair and that's the 3-4 pair, these can't contain a 3. That is a 2-4 pair. That's definitely right. You know, you start distrusting the most obvious things suddenly. Oh, that's a 6-7 pair looking at this cell. Yes, well spotted. So that's a 3. This is now not a 3, and this is not a 6. This 3 is blue. This digit is high. One of these two is a 7 on the diagonal, and that's a 6. 6 has to touch 2 on the diagonal. Here we go. 4, 3, 4, 3, 2. 4 there, 2 here. 4 here, that has to go next to 8 on the orange line. This digit has become a 7. The orange line is finished. And now I could go back to the set and say that all of these digits are the digits that appear in the corners. I probably won't need it, especially as 8 is fixing that cell to be 6. That's fixing this to be 7. I mean, I know what's on all of these diagonals now entirely, actually. That's not 2 or 4. That's not 2. Yeah, I do. Oh, that's really annoying. Well, I mean, at least it's good. I don't have to do the kind of housekeeping on the set anymore. Now, these are a 1, 2, 4, 5 set. They have to alternate. So these digits are 4 and an odd digit. They don't contain 2. This has become 3. This has become 7. That's 6. It's strange that this 1-5 pair is not resolved, but I can put up with it. 1, 3 here. Let's get rid of the corner mark. 9 is sort of hanging out on its own. 7 is looking at that cell. The German whisper here is, 7 is looking at that cell. That's a 6. This is an 8. This is not 8. This is not 6. This is the only place for 8 in this box. And that fixes 6 in the column. Whispers doesn't resolve that. This I still have to think about the parity alternation. Oh, that digit can't be 4 because of what I've just done. And there goes the parity, because that's odd. So this is even, this is even, this is odd. I could get rid of everything that's yellow, couldn't I? And actually recolor them in my high-low colors, which frankly makes me happy. Right, now, this is a 1, 2, 5 set that I can just fill in. I do like it when Sudoku comes to the party. Blue, and I don't know how 5 ended up being red, but here we are now. 1, 2, 5, 3, 7, 8, 9. This must be 6, 7, 8. I can fill them in as well. Oops, 8, 6, 7. What's happening? 8, go up, 6, go up, 7. There we go. Sorry about that. Something's happened to my numlock key. I must have hit that at some point just now. That's a 9-4 pair. These are orange. Oh, look, I put 4 in one of those cells, so that's going to resolve 9-4. Good news. In fact, what about this central box? 1, 5, 6, 7, 9. These are a 4-8 pair that I can actually solve. And these are a 2-3 pair that I can actually solve. Lovely. This is happening now. Sorry, I keep jumping onto other pages, which is incredibly annoying. I will try and just restrict myself to using keys that I can use. Right, that's 4 and 8. This is a 1-9 pair, isn't it? The 4 and 8, they're not solving it. Okay, this row, we need a 6, that's here. This is 3 or 5, I do believe. Oh, this entropy actually is important, because 5 has to be there, so 4 there means this is a 1, basically. Okay, right. So that's red, that's orange. That 1 is going to fix a red 5 up here, and a blue 1 here. That's going to resolve 3 there, 5 here, that's red. 4 and 8 are coloured. That 3 sorts out 7, 3. That gives me a 1. That does 9, 1. This digit is a 9. Oh, I still can't do this 6, 7 pair. Never mind. I can colour these. And that's a naked 7 now. Sorry. Pardon me, that is a naked 7, which is orange, that's blue. These are 6 and 5, that's 6 and 7. In this row, I've got a 2 and a 1. Those are blue. 5 is red. 6 is orange. We need an orange 7 here and a blue 3 here. And this is going to be a blue 2, and that is going to be a blue 3. And that is going to finish the puzzle. And what a clever puzzle by Randy Dan. Needed the set theory. I didn't get that at the start. I got it at some point during the puzzle. But my goodness, that's a head wrecker. Oh, wow. Lines of time. Well, it took plenty of time. 75 minutes. Not unhappy with that, I'll tell you. Not unhappy with that. That's a tricky old puzzle. No wonder it was recommended. Thank you so much for watching on the channel. Pleasure to have you with us. Love to see you again soon. Bye for now.